Got it. You're recording.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Angelika Christie, your host of this show, Your Radiant Life After 45. Skills for radiant women, for healthy women who are not done living yet. Far from it. I show you how to design and enjoy your most radiant life consciously and by intelligent choice. So, with over 25 years of professional expertise as a naturopathic doctor specializing in healthy aging, and as a lifestyle and relationship coach, together with my vast personal experience, yeah, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I give you just all of me. So, if this is what you like, and if you like what I share with you, come back every Saturday at this time, 3 o'clock. And of course, you can always look at what I have shared weeks before because they are all in the archive. So let's begin. First of all, happy International Women's Weekend. I'm not too sure if it's actually today, but I know it's this weekend. And there are so many things happening, so many gatherings. I am on my little island here in the Bahamas, and actually, I show you right outside there is a beautiful ocean. So I am not in a place where I can have a big gathering, but in my heart, I am connecting with all the women. And actually, what I did today, earlier today, was I looked at all of the countries that have women, not only women leaders, but especially who are leading the countries as presidents or as prime ministers or however they are called, who are the leaders of the countries. And do you know what I discovered? Those countries are doing very well. So I really envision our future to be more infused with feminine energy because we all know what's going on in the world right now. Those atrocities, I am a strong believer. I cannot imagine that those would even be possible if, for example, Russia would have a female leader, would have probably a different system there as well. So we really need to build a better future. We need to build a world where we can collaborate and come together. Uh, my God, we have such, and yes, my God, God gave us this beautiful planet, and we have everything we need. And there is no, we have enough space as well. There is absolutely no reason to infringe on each other's freedom or way of life. So there is so much more to say about you, but I would encourage you to look at the countries that are led by women and the countries that are also where most of innovations comes from females, and countries um, who are maybe not led by women, but what is the percentage of government, of parliament, or whatever system they have? How much are women involved in in what's going on in the country? The same with big companies, and it is slowly shifting, but I think the time has come where we need a push to shift this even more. Women need to step up and take those positions. And I know I live in a world, in a country that is highly patriarchal, male oriented, totally male oriented. And yet, I have seen, and I live here for the last 40 years, so I have seen some development of more and more females coming into the government, becoming ministers or becoming having stronger positions in the country. That's a very, very good sign, because what I did not even remember, but what I also, even though I should have known, is that in this country that I live in, the Bahamas, which is really beautiful, and it's a strong democracy, and it's safe, and has so much to offer, and yet there is something very profound that is missing. Can you believe that a woman who is not married and gives birth to a child, for example, with somebody outside, or even, no, it's even worse. A woman who is married to a man who is not a Bahamian, but who has another nationality, cannot give the child the nationality, the passport of the Bahamas, of her own country. The Bahamas decides that a child that is born goes by the nationality of the father. Can you believe this? I think it's absolutely crazy. But it's still like this, and I know this needs to change in this little country here with all of the freedoms and the great democracy and parliamentary, and actually it was designed after the UK, after British law, long time ago, because the Bahamas used to be under a commonwealth of the UK, was British Commonwealth. We are still part of the Commonwealth, but we are an independent country now. But a lot of um, the laws have been adopted from then. But then there are also some very antiquated laws, like the one that I just shared. Unbelievable. So, but anyway, this is not this was just a little bit of ranting, but also to encourage you to support women. And there is something about this that sometimes women have more difficulties to support each other than men do. And I was wondering why this is. I mean, lately it has gotten much better. Women group come together and they know we need to support each other. But naturally, it hasn't been like this. When it comes to business, especially, maybe it's because men, when you look, thousands of years ago or so, they always had to be bonding very closely because they were out there defending. They were war brothers, or they were a band of brothers, and they needed to be bonding with each other. For women, it was a little bit different. Yes, they lived in the community and took care of everything in the tribe and all of this, but there is some more of a rivalry. I'm German. I hope I pronounced this right, maybe not, amongst females. And we have to look at that and have to let go of that, because together we need to rise and we need to become stronger, and we need to take care of humanity. We need to take care of our planet, not out of greed, but out of care, out of love, out of this natural feeling that females have, that we have as mothers, as giving birth, to also take care of it. Yes, we need men, absolutely. We need men to support us and protect us. We don't want to go to war, and hopefully there may come a time when we don't have war anymore. That would be amazing. I am not giving up on that yet, even though I may not be alive when that will happen. But when you have children and grandchildren, you go on. Generations go on. So, but what I wanted to share with you today is, wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Have you ever wondered why some people live this, extraordinary life, or this happy life, while most people actually struggle? And have you ever wondered why some people live, um, uh, I mean, they walk around with this smiley face, while most others have this solemn, or this kind of this frown walking around? Um, or why, especially some women age beautifully and others just let themselves go and feel that age is a pain, and it's they don't even want to. They just kind of wither away. And have you ever wondered why some people have this kind of almost magnetic energy? It attract what they want, and not even trying so hard. And so for a lot of those people that I just mentioned, success seems to come easy. Would you agree that life could be so much more meaningful and fun if you knew how to be that, how to be really who you are without putting up any pretense, or if you could find the true joy that's in your heart and live from that?
Yeah,
I'm going
sure,
to
sure.
share with you a little bit of a secret formula. Um, and and it's kind of a system how to deeply connect with your inner wisdom. I will reveal to you how to immediately increase your personal magnetism. And then I will give you something that we need right now. Uh, I have created this some time ago, and I call it my SBS method. And SBS stands for smile. No, I'm sorry. That last S is smile. The first S is stand. The second is uh, S, and then comes B. And the B is breathe. And then when you exhale, you smile. And then you let everything go. Your shoulders drop, and you plant your feet very strongly on the ground, and you feel the energy from the earth coming through your feet and circling through your body. You feel the energy from the universe, from all there is coming through you, through the crown of your head, and mingling with this earthly energy. You feel this circling, the dance of life actually happening within you. And when you're really aware of this and have that inner smile, you become magnetic, because you carry an energy within you that is actually um, the energy that we see in children, in babies, in animals. They have that natural magnetism because they don't pretend anything. They're just 100% themselves all the time. You see? So you can sometimes we can get all worked up in a situation, and I don't have an addiction to watching the news, but it is very tough not to know what's going on in Ukraine right now. And I have cried so much. I it's just my heart. It's just not only bleeding, but it's in terror at times about what could happen. And the only, since we cannot affect this directly, but indirectly we can affect it by how we take care of ourselves, how we can counteract this within our own circle, within our own family, and in our circle of friends, in our community, with becoming especially attentive to creating peace, to maybe listening more, to opening ourselves up to accept, or at least um, be open to suggestion of something that we were closed before, a different opinion that we had maybe a strong stance against, but maybe we can soften up and just allow this to not to change us or to manipulate us, but to allow us to uh, open up and try to be in somebody else's shoes, or in somebody else's mind or head, and imagine where does this come from, and how can we build a bridge to this which I have never really agreed with, but here I am and here is the other. How can we build this bridge? How can we meet? How can we create an understanding of some kind? How can we resolve conflict without fighting? And this happens in our lives all the time, right? I mean, it happens amongst, in our families, it happens amongst couples, it happens amongst children, it happens between mothers and children. And I mean, conflict is easy because we all have our own ideas how things should be. And this reminds me of something that my father always used to say. He said, don't, if you want to avoid conflict or disappointment, don't have demands, don't have requirements, but have preferences. Okay? This is a much softer way of, yes, have preferences, but don't insist on having something that it needs to be in a certain way, unless it has to do with um, a, a core a core belief, an issue that is attached to justice. There is just nothing that I can agree with that is totally out of the area of justice. And yet, to attack, I can listen, I can receive, and I can see if I can find something that we can agree on and start to build little, almost like fibers, that can make a rope maybe at some point, and that can then become maybe the rope that you hold on to when you cross the bridge. I mean, they're all pieces of building blocks in order to achieve, um, even if it's not agreement, but peace. And peace starts within you. You need to have peace. And sometimes we are in situations where it looks like the world is just falling apart around us. That happens not only in actual war, like we are experiencing it now, but it happens in many other ways, big disappointments, or something catastrophic happens in our life. It could be illness, or it could be, a catastrophic event through nature, hurricane, floods, whatever. Your house may be a tornado. All these things can happen, and yet it is never the end of you unless you lose your life. You go on in a way of um, finding the other side of the catastrophe. There's always a gift. Finding what is the gift here? What has this that has been taken away allowed to become available now? For example, if you lose your home, if you lose your house, there is a certain freedom with that. Maybe you want to move someplace else. I mean, everything changes, maybe, if you don't want to build it again there. But anyway, in every catastrophe, there is a gift that first may not be visible. But if you open not only your mind, but also surrender to what is and become attentive to what will be given to you, become, and sometimes we have to ask for that kind of help. Um, if you follow a religion, that can be it. But we are all connected to the universe. We are all children of this incredible, unlimited possibilities of where everything is there, everything is available. It's just how do we become not only aware of it, but how do we attract it into our lives? How can we shift from the place where we have been, that has been either pulled from under us, or in whatever way it has changed so much that we need to shift as well. Because if we stay and complain, nothing. I mean, this will be the worst experience. So we don't want that. So I think I went on a tangent there somewhere, and but I hope it was still valuable because I really wanted to talk a little bit about these inner, your spiritual self, in the four areas of your life. And the first sequence really is the first is that it's almost like a bullseye, and you are in the center of your life. You are it in the middle of it. And then the next layer may be your children and your family. And the next layer out of that may be your friends, and then your community, and then your country and the world, you know. So there are circles of reality and of influence. Um, but you know, there comes a time um, in your life when you feel, and especially since I'm talking with women who are in their 50s and over, where you feel that maybe it is too late, you know, too late. And it is never too late. But it is too late if you wait too long, like I did. I waited too long, and I got such a kick in the butt, such a wake-up call. Thank God it wasn't the end of my life, but for some and too many people, it can come to the end of their life, and then it is too late. You know, too many graveyards are filled with dreams that have never been fulfilled. You know, so I don't want you to feel that it is too late to know what it feels like to live from your heart's desire, or what it feels like to have a joyful and a healthy body. You know, that feeling of being in a body that you take care of, and so it takes care of you and what you want to do. Or too late to be seen in the world for who you really are, or too late to create your financial freedom even and travel the world or do anything you desire. And most of all, I don't want you to feel the pain and regret when it is too late, when your dreams die with you and you're on your deathbed, and now it is too late. And your dreams are lost to you, but also to the world, because we are also here not only for our own purpose, but to bring our gift into the world and make an impact in the world. So if you wait too long, it's never too late, but don't wait until it is, okay? And maybe I share this wake-up call with you that I had. It was about 8 years ago, in the middle of Manhattan. It was after a 4 day writing workshop with Louise Hay. I should have been inspired, but I got overwhelmed in the end and was discouraged. Why? Because there were so many women with their unbelievable stories of how they healed themselves of all kinds of diseases, of cancer or any other life-threatening disease, and became very successful, and or healed themselves from abuse, horrible abuse in their families or with their partner. And here I was, not really having had any of these circumstances. You know, there was nothing life-threatening in my life, no huge drama either. My language wasn't even English, and I was not as young as those women on the stage there. And so I thought maybe I should really give up. Um, Maybe I should give up because I don't have what it takes. Um, in order for you to be seen as oh my God, yes, I have eyes on me, I may need to have a horrific story to tell. So I never forget that next morning, all alone in my hotel room. I was, well, I had in the night, I had, I think, half a bottle of wine. I drank because I needed to drown something terrible. And I felt sorry for myself. But the next morning came, and I had a day still in the city, and then the day after that, I was scheduled to fly out to Germany to visit with my family. And so I'm all dressed up, and I have this internal dialogue going on. Yeah, okay, it's all finished. It's all. I'm never going to bring my gift to the world because I wouldn't even know how. Nobody will listen to me. And I reaching for the door to get out of my hotel room, and all of a sudden I feel as if lightning strikes me. I mean, it went right through my head, and then my right arm just it felt like jelly. I had no feeling on my right side anymore. I had a mini stroke. I had a stroke. Immediately, I knew that I must have brought that on myself. And I screamed out. I screamed to God, no, no, I will do it. I will do it. I knew that I just, yeah, had a choice to either fulfill my promise that I came into this world with, other things as well, but especially help women to understand their magnificence, or just have a stroke and die. Maybe cannot talk anymore. And at this time already I was a Reiki master teacher, so a Reiki master. So I brought that universal life force energy into my body with all of my force and might, and with my holy will, I would say. But you see, it taught me don't try God, because what I said before this happened was, God, if you would have given me a disease or something that would have been horrific, that I would have to fight in my life, I would be better off, you know? So I brought that on myself. So it happened. Thank God it didn't take my life. I got a chance to fulfill my promise, which I am doing right now. So I didn't really get to everything I wanted to share with you. I see that we only have 2 minutes left. But I hope that you got, first of all, you remember the SBS, uh, stand, breathe,
Yes.
smile, relax. Yes. Do this whenever you feel that tension coming up in your body. And it's easy to get that tension because of all kinds of reasons. But that little thing really helped me quite a bit, and I hope it will help you as well. And I also believe that everything in life is about relationship. And that's why I believe women are much better leaders, because we can build better relationships. But we have to start with the relationship we have with ourselves first. And then, just like I said in the bullseye, it's you, and then it's your family, and then it's your community of friends or business partners, and then it's out in the world. And we can build those connections and relationships and make it solid and make it resilient, and have it in alignment with our core values of integrity and truth and freedom and trust and love, and all of our core values are embedded in it. And if we connect with that, there is no way that our light will not shine and will create the change in the world that we want to see, we have to create it within ourselves first and then within our communities. Okay, so I have to close this, not close it, but I'm stopping it right here now. And